Hello, everyone. Welcome to another stream of jazz arranging. I've been kind of out of pocket recently uh, due to some stressors and stuff going on, but that's all right. I am still trying to keep going. I'm just checking right now on my phone to make sure I'm actually live, and it looks like I am. Cool. Uh, I'm gonna get. If you hear some noise in the background, Kitty has just decided to begin having a wrestling match with a jingle ball. So that's what that is. And even if you don't hear it, I definitely do. Let's go for, let's see, my one and only love. I think I put the X on here because it was meant to be the last one, and I added the two horn parts. Yes. Now the problem with this is I think um, I think you can see quite easily that the adding the two extra parts messed with what fits on the page. Um, that's rough because I think in landscape you're really just not going to be able to see much of this. Um, if I shrink this down much further, somebody's going to need binoculars to see any of this. Uh, Another option is to make a condensed score, a condensed style score. Maybe if I combined trombone 1 and 2, or even 1, 2, and 3, and then put bass trombone on a different line. Um, if I made piano a single line, um, if I condensed first two trumpets and 3 and 4, condense the horns into one line, stuff like that. I mean, I already got rid of what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 staves just with that. And then obviously this is the feature, so I could even put the top three saxes. I guess I'd have to separate these two because they're on doubles. But yeah, I could get rid of some lines, or I could flip this to a vertical orientation and set it up to go on larger paper. So I could print it on like A4 paper, um, which is a little more traditional in scores. I think in the past, as far as like my assignments for grad school, I haven't been required to do that because, if it were like that, I wouldn't. If the assignments were required to be in that format, you'd hardly anyone would be able to print them at home or anything, and it would just be kind of a pain. So that makes it easier and more accessible, which is always good. But um, I guess another option would be to go ahead and throw this document as it is onto larger paper. Um, yeah, actually, that's a good compromise between the two. Leave it landscape, throw it on a piece of paper that's bigger. Let's see how I need to do that. Page layout, page size. There we go. Now A4 is kind of a traditional size. You can see it's not really much bigger than letter. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of a weird. It's actually longer than letter and thinner on the short side, so that's not going to help very much. Could go with what's the other one? There's legal, but it's still 8.5 on the short side. Tabloid is huge. I don't think I want to deal with that. Let's see what else. Concert paper. That might be that might work out. Let's go with selected parts score, and then of course we make sure we select the score. And yeah, I want all the pages, and so let's go with OK on that. So now we've blown it up a little. We're on concert paper. Okay. Um, it didn't quite solve all of our problems. Uh, Hardly anything does. Let's see if I can bring all of this up a tiny bit. Just bring that margin up. And then these things only need to be on the first page, so I don't even think this is showing on here, the little score, because, like, hello, it's the score. Yeah, I don't have it showing. It's already the score. It says it on there. It's the score. Sorry, that's maybe just a little bit of a sticking point for me. Let's get this aligned well. Page, single page. Let's go with top header. Yeah. Horizontal right, top header, position from the margin, and then boom, beautiful. Puts it right where it goes. I love these tools. If you know how to use the tools in Finale, it really can make things very easy, but wow, do you have to have a lot of experience with it. So I can just zero it out, page margin. Nope, not from edge of frame. I want to position it from the page margin, thank you. And then boom, just like that, we got it positioned perfectly. This is no longer centered because I changed the page size. So now we just go edit, center again, and we should be able to apply it. Let's unclick that edge of frame thing again. Oh, looks like it might be centered. Single page, first page. I want to do this one from the page edge actually, just to make sure. And moved it down a tiny bit. That's okay. These two now I could pull down and get a little more, because I moved the margins up over here. And they were kind of closer to the top of the page. I can bring them in a little bit. That'll be a nice front page. Okay. That's already on the front. I don't need this. It's not showing. Okay, good. I can set that to happen as well. I just learned. I kind of learned this recently. Yeah, single page. Um, the deal is this is attached to the file info. Yeah, so it's got, I just learned how to make this work out better. So I can go to the page layout. And what has happened is I have, no, it's the document options. There we go. And it's like the title and all that info. Where's that? I think I'm in the wrong place because I think it's maybe it's in file preferences. Edit preferences. Folders edit. No, because that's program wide and this is just about this one document. Document options, let's see. Yeah, this isn't really it. There's something about the title page that I can go in and edit the title page specifically. I can put, so this is the title, you know, My One and Only Love. So the song knows, the score manager knows, here's where, you know, this shows up somewhere. And so this is actually, that's actually where it's getting this info from. This is the title, you know? So this should be on like page 2 through the end, but it's showing up here for some reason. Well, why is that? Well, it should be showing up on page 1. Center, center, page edge. And then I can throw it there. Boom, there it is. This is not actually the title box, and I can tell because I can edit the text in here individually. This small one, I can move that out of the way, is the title box, and I know that because it's actually got it in characters. I can't really edit the text. It like selects it all at once. Okay, well, anyway, that's what it usually does, but I've obviously messed with it. So yeah, basically I'll just get rid of, just drop that one, put this back where it was, zero it out right here, put it back where it was, and that'll be fine, that'll work. But yeah, that's where it's getting this info from. It's getting it from that title. Yeah, you see how it has it all selected right there as one thing? That's because it's pulling that info from the score info. Maybe this is where I could possibly find that. Anyway, no need to worry about that anymore. I fixed it. I don't really need it here. Yeah, I just don't need it there because I have a title page with that on it. The problem is, I remember what the issue is now. If I do this, I've gotten rid of that one. Yeah, it will sometimes, it'll get rid of the title page, or sorry, the heading on these. And I don't want that. I could attach it to measure 1 of every of all the parts, but you know, I'm really just gonna just get it back on there. You know, this on there too, like there's no reason to oh, it's control alt left arrow, not control shift. I want to make sure I left this. I didn't undo too far. Okay. Okay, that should be fine. Did I move these around? Ah, good. I only went back to this part. So I'll inch that down a little bit. That's fine. Yeah, and that's why I have to leave this score up here because that just says what the part is. And over here, if I deleted that, it wouldn't say alto sax 1 anymore. So, yeah, later, from now on, I should say, I would edit this. Well, I should say this one to end up on page 1 and show on the score. That would be the correct way to do it. Now I know that. I learned. So there's that. Um, let's move on. I have already edited something in this that wasn't okay before because there was a mistake in a trombone chord. It was just the wrong chord. Um, I needed to make a correction there. And then I put I guess I could have put like as written on there. Let me ooh, I'm not showing it in concert pitch. That's good. Yeah, and this is a great key. Some uh some players take it up to E flat and that's really great. You get to play that altissimo G on the tenor right here and it just can sound so cool. But if I want this to be accessible for people to play, I don't want to do that. It's not a good idea. And I can edit all those names later. So let me go find this. That's a problem. That should be transposed to flute. And that is a staff style. Um, well, I can just double click on it. And actually, sorry, I can right click on it. That's what I mean. Flute transposition. Boom. Done. Then got the tenor line going on. This open, then we've switched to trumpet here from flugel. You know what? I just had this great idea. I should I've got these two eighth notes. Boo-doo-dee. I should move this over and have these trumpets not start until the second beat and tie over. Do-do-dee-do-do-do-dee-do. feel like I feel like I could have these trombones land on beat 2 then. So be 1, 2, dee 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 dee, boo doo, boom, boom. It just happens on beat 2. And then I'm also thinking about C, D, E, G. And then we want to land on this D right here. So C, D, E, G, A, D. And then that would create an interesting line between these two instruments. Oh, which it has to load quickly. Um, let's see how that works. Well, I feel like that sounds like a mistake. Hmm. I think I could have tenor 2 come in right there. So what I should do is copy that entire line, shrink this down, and make sure this is attached to the correct note. It should be attached to that A, and then get rid of these two. Now I have to move that down so it's visible. There we go. Ugh, probably need more space between these two staves. Just looks kind of sloppy. This is, this is the kind of stuff I would totally be down to just somebody writes a bunch of music and then sends it to me, and I will just clean it all up and make sure nothing is bumping into other stuff and make it all look beautiful for when they print it off and it just looks excellent. Like I could totally accept being someone's editor, publisher, whatever, or I guess just editor. So hit me up if you've written something but you're like, I have no idea how to make it look pretty. It doesn't look like a professional score. Send it my way. I'll take that and $100 and turn out a beautiful score. I'm only partially kidding. So now we've got the tenor joining on this line a little earlier, which I think strengthens this G, A, C here, which means I can abandon it in the bass, which is what I want to do to strengthen this foundation here. Let's check that. Um, what if I had the bass trombone help out with this? as a you know, as a little aid there, I could have the bass trombone play this just in case the Barry player doesn't have a low A key. Didn't sound like Finale played those first few notes on trombone. Oh, because it's on trombone, that's the instrument it's playing. And trombone may not be. Yeah, it's on jazz trombone instead of. I don't think there's a. I mean, there's an orchestral bass trombone, but it may not be set up to play those notes that low. Ooh, that is. that's high. It's because it's playing these on alto sax instead of on flute. I wish I had a for sure way to fix that. Really, I tried editing this expression definition flute to edit the playback and switch it to a different patch. Or there's another way I can do that. I could switch it to a different channel and set up the flute on on another channel. But there's I don't know. It's not much I can. It's like a lot of effort to be able to hear it, and that's just not the hugest deal. I mean, I can give that a shot again. It means I have to go up here later to where it says to alto and make sure that it's gonna, yeah, program change back to alto. And even if it says alto, wherever that happens, yeah, I would have to make sure it has a patch change as well, and then we can get back to alto sax. And then, yeah, you can see then how many ways it just starts to get out of control with all the things that could possibly go wrong there. Um, and here we see why I usually like to use the scroll view, but I'm not because that shows me a changed spacing between these and not a true representation of how it will look when it's printed. Sorry. Let's see if that flute thing changed. Yeah, did 0 things. And I just want to make sure that, yeah, this is horn player. Um, oh, I've got the drum set mute because it probably is doing like the weirdest things because I don't have the map set up correctly because it's just a lot of time. Again, a lot of time spent on having the program play it correctly, which is just not as necessary as having the people play it correctly. So let me just listen to it, listen through it, and see if I get any errors, if I can hear any. Now hold on. I do hear something in my mind's ear that could be really cool. So we've got this walk down E flat, D flat, E boopy doo doo dum. And I think that could stand to be doubled. Doesn't need to be that low. I think it could be doubled up the octave just fine if I push the right shortcut key. Okay, let's try again. There, now it works. B flat, A flat, A. Then we go all the way down there. You know what? Maybe it should be down there, because they're going to start down here anyway in a second. And I also don't think it's necessary for these trombones to re-articulate this note, but I will make sure they know to hold it out the whole time. And I also need to select the correct smart shape before I try to draw it. Actually, I'm gonna extend this. Yeah, I like the implication of that better than drawing them separately. And yeah, that works out. I'll leave the tenor on that. I'll have to trust. Man, that's a powerful moment right there. Um, I do feel like let's see, this is where I just can work faster in concert pitch, so I want to switch to that. So I've got this A, D, E, E, G. Okay, so I'm thinking about not making this horn line so parallel. Well, except that it follows this trombone line. it may just be these last two notes. Because that's a G in the tenor. Ooh, not an E sharp, please. Let's make it keep going the same direction. I think that may sound a little more seamless. And now you can hear why I've muted the drum set on playback. Ah, another thing. I feel like this needs clarification. Let's take us out of concert pitch, though. I don't want to be operating on a lie. The lie being how it's going to look in concert pitch versus how it's going to look transposed. Sounds like, yeah, we've got guitar playing this counter line, which is, I think I've put there so that it doesn't, so that it's really subtle and doesn't, if I put it in the other tenor, the ear might get confused on like why is it's being doubled there, like which one is the melody. So I don't want that to happen. Yeah, that's why I did that. Man, that moment right here, just when the horns are like screaming that. The G against F sharp. Um, the C against B on this A minor chord, the 3 against the 9. Ooh, that is just chef's kiss kind of. Love it. I kind of do want to. I don't need the horns to really crescendo that. It's in unison. I think it's going to pop out beautifully from the texture. Um, this right here. I feel like that could be an octave lower and in the trombones. In the top two trombones, I think would be just just fine. Um, Not even just fine. Beautiful. It's not going for just fine. if I want that E to happen somewhere. Why don't I divide that responsibility up? Because I've got G, E. Here I've got is E, A, then B natural. I don't want to copy this G sharp line. It's been done. So I've got the 9 here, which I should have told the pianist if I'm gonna have it. Um, I think that works out fine. It's just really that's kind of a skipping around move there. We've got this A happening here. They could hold. They could go F, C, F, E. We got the C sharp here, which is the B, concert B. Will that conflict with this? Yeah, there's E, D, G, E. It would be fine to have the F up here. Oh, too many steps. Oh, oh well. Delete a note and everything disappears. Not necessary. Here, just since it's the trombones an octave down now instead of the trumpets, let's go with mezzo piano. I think that'll be fine. And I'm going to move this little unison. No, not you. This little unison marker. Oh, over here. Um, it's not showing, so it'll be fine right there. I don't need all 3 trombones to do it. When it gets here, yeah, that'll be cool. But just the top 2 will be good for that line. All right, let's see. And let's also tell the horn players that I want this to be as smooth as possible. Since it's already broken up in the trombones, I don't need to add any articulation. You know what? I don't think I need this to resolve. I think it sounds kind of I think let's let the tension stay right here. Yeah, let's do that. And let's have the tenor player hold this over and kind of blend from let it transition. The melody is not their responsibility anymore, and the band takes over here. Okay, and I don't need to play all of that again. Or I could, and I could mute the tenor player. I like that idea. Gonna do that. You know what? Don't need that note to happen from that tenor player. But they do need a dynamic. Um, I think mezzo forte will work just fine there. Ooh, ooh, oh, definitely some spice there between the horns and trombones. Man, wow, that is, ooh, I like it. I want to hear that again. You know what? I also don't think I really need the. Nah. Just let the bass trombone re-articulate it. I dig it. Ooh, man, that does kick right there. Just like I love it. It's got a lot of emotion. Um, how many bars we got? 4.5 to put some cups in. Yeah, I'm gonna hold that. There's no reason not to hold that note out for the trombones. Let's do that. Because the focus is going to be whatever line the tenor player comes up with here that lands on the downbeat. And undo that. Um, let's please undo that. And the staff style I'm going to put here actually is rhythmic notation because I really want the tenor player to put a good downbeat there and get away from it to get out of the way of the sax soli. And one thing we did talk about last time is that this was a little too much going on. It just didn't need to happen. So let's let them just go ahead and take their break. Yeah, that's a really nice pad underneath the soloist. Then we get some Coltrane's matrix here. I don't think the horns are going to be heard over the rest of the band just popping that out. What they might be heard doing is just landing right down on that E, which isn't B for them. This is just a mistake I don't want to make, so I will I really want to put E. Yeah. Do I want them to join in on this chord here? I mean, it doesn't really need any help. B, D, F, B. See, what do we have here? D, G, B. It's just a G7, is that right? Oh, E minor 7. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. The thing I'm thinking is, would it be? Yeah, I don't need the trumpets. Don't need the rest of the band. Doesn't need any help from the horns here. But would it be rhythmically supportive to have them play something like that? Which is really just the melody again, an octave lowered. Ooh, I guess not really too much lower, right? Could have him play this. No, I know they can. I know they can play this. Then would it be beneficial to have them play like dee 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 like dee 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 dow like that to be supportive? Of course, that'll need to be an F sharp. Let's check it out. Do de do dow. Let's go ahead and put that. I want to put that in the horns. Dee da do dow. Put that bluesy line right there. I think another thing is I don't. They don't need that note. They don't need that note to set anything up. Get rid of that. It's just too much. Not nope. Not even the last eighth of it. I guess the last quarter of it, but the last eighth note from it. You know what I mean. I really am thinking they don't need that to happen. I think it's unnecessary and it just can lead to missing that rhythm. I mean, and then it draws attention to it when it's syncopated like that. Doesn't really need any extra attention. it's already a new pad coming in. So let's just get the smart shape to work. And have that gliss between the notes. And having the two of them do it in unison will add a little bit more ambiguity on the gliss, which is what I want. And you know what? I think I've got the bass doing too much. Do, 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 do. Why is it? It's moving in double time. Ooh, that got loud. Yeah, it's moving too much already. I'm gonna get rid of that. And have it not move until there. And then this should actually be over here. Hmm. Is that really the chord I put on the end there? It certainly is. And it just having it play this stuff on saxophone instead of flute really kind of ruins it. And there's no reason for them, there's no reason for us not to play this A. Except the only thing I want to change about that is don't want the courtesy accidental on there because I don't need it anymore. And the only way to get rid of that I've found is to make the note a rest again and then enter the note. Because even if you cycle through the shortcut, it doesn't It either puts the parentheses around it, takes them away, and then or puts them back and then takes them away, puts them back, takes them away. It doesn't get rid of the accidental completely in that cycle of key shortcuts for some reason. Let's see if I can make. Let's see if I can force this to play flute. And oh, I can just do flute player. Okay, okay. That's probably better than flute solo because it'll try to stick it out of the mix. I don't think the trumpets need to be in on. I think yeah, I think they just need to. Well, it's in cups. I forgot about that part. So I fixed the trombone chord in here. I'm not sure that I really need this be do anymore here. And I don't think I need them to play anything for the first bar of that, the first full bar. And also, it can just be piano. So, I don't think I need any of this. And this is what happens so often, we just put too much stuff in our charts sometimes as we get excited about every idea that we have and then, you know, which is good. That's that's fine. I'm happy to get excited by my own deal ideas instead of thinking they all suck, but often I just end up adding too much and I could relax and it would be not just as impactful, but more impactful. Most of the time, it's more impactful to just wait a little bit and let it be simple like this. I think it'd be fine to. Never mind. I don't think it'd be fine to double this. Let the horns have it, and the guitar can play can play it as well. It's also this line is also somewhere here, I think. G and A, G on F sharp, so it splits right there. But that's fine. I really could um I'm gonna use the filter here. I'm gonna get rid of everything except for chords. Which are chords and fretboards there. I'll apply that, and I've got the filter going. That's not what it says. Maybe I have to actually copy and paste for it to. Don't really need it to use staff styles. Thank you. Put an accent there. You see, over most of this, almost all of this score, don't really need the piano left hand. Like, oh man, ooh, those default finale sounds are just in your face. Human Playback does a way better version. You know what? I'm not gonna have the guitar play that. I think having it play the trombone line would be really nice. Still have that filter on. I think that's an octave. I think that's an stop doing that. No, that should be correct. I'm not really liking that last chord, so I'm making it. I've got an A69 written here. I'm not liking the voicing that I'm doing, so I've got A, E, the B. I think I've got that going on in the wrong place. I think I could have the F sharp down there, and that would give it a little bit more density. I wrote, okay. I think they are sitting too high, and it's gonna take all the mellowness out of them. Then I've got the third up here, which, why, if I'm making it a 6/9 chord, want to hear those notes. E, A, setting up a good foundation, cool. Let's hear it now that I've done that. So, for me I feel like that sounds a ton better. And it's because I did the right layering of this. It sounds like a real stack, a vertical stack of notes instead of just, having the third repeated up there in the melody. It doesn't need that. I already told you it's a major chord down here. Um, your ear just doesn't need that extra help. And if I show it in concert pitch here, yeah, you can see that the horns have this part as well. I could, let's move this down to the B. I think that even sounds better because your ear just doesn't need too many thirds. It already wants to know the quality of the chord. It's just dying to know the quality of these chords. And so somebody down here, and I bet the piano and guitar are going to do it too, so that's going to be even more help. Somebody's going to tell you the quality of this chord. Trombone's doing it right here, so your ear's happy with that. It's fine. Just knowing, like, oh, it's a major chord. It does not need the help. Then all of these other people can just add color to that chord. Beautiful. Sounds great. There's no major seventh in there to kind of rub up against if the soloist wants to play the root, end up on the root or something. Cool. Go for it, man. Just happens to be a male in our case. Let's hear this last bit again, and then I'm going to have to call it. Is there a reason I didn't hold that for 2 beats? I don't see a good enough one. Except I wanted it to kind of go like sort of fade out in the middle of this tenor line. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to unmute the tenor, the soloist, just to hear this one more time with that in the context. Um, this is kind of really quick to switch to flute. Uh, that's going to start rubbing up against the tenor line, so I don't really need that. It's fine. It's fine. I think maybe I'm just starting at 2 beats sooner than I need. And this gives the 2 saxes here time to switch over. But we don't need to go back to the E flat transposing. So do 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 do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, let's do playback, but I don't really need the first two bars of this to play again. Cadenza, cadenza. I especially love that because it's this melody note in the melody again. That's what's sticking out to me that's really beautiful about it. It's the same melody note as this, it's just now resolved to a different chord. That's why. That's why it was really that was really sticking in my head is like, man, why do I love that so much? What's got me so drawn to that sound? Um so there it is. There. I'm going to call it done. I'm going to call it done cuz I really need to. I should and not to it's good to be supportive of yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and say I I deserve to call it done. I've put all this work into it. I should let myself call it done without keeping without just continuously working on it, you know? Yeah, like I've done a lot of good things with this that I'm perfectly happy with and I think sound really beautiful and I just need to let myself be satisfied with that actually. So I've got this score going on here. None of this that's showing up right here will be visible on this page. So, will that make a difference? Nope. So I need to adjust everything up like that so we can see all the things. Yep, there we go. And I'm not going to do the stuff I was talking about earlier with getting rid of certain, I could hide the piano staff when it's empty. I could also create a condensed piano, condense it down to a single staff by having it switch to bass clef here and then switch back to, treble clef. That's kind of a pain, but it's something I could do. I could definitely do it for the part, for the piano part. It's looking like I could stand to move the guitar up a little, and it wouldn't really bump into anything. Yeah, okay. So this is going to be just a revised, finished version. Ah, I see. It looks like it's not really liking this positioning for the last page for some reason. What has happened here? I must have changed the staff spacing on the final page to make something work out, but I'm not sure what. It's not the right handle. There it is. So that's not bumping. That's not bumping. What else is there? Gave that some extra room. Piano has a little extra room here. It doesn't need. Maybe it does. I don't know. Definitely the left hand has some extra room. The bass could use a little more room in the drums. Okay, now we've got that all fitting on the page very nicely. Let's check page 5. So actually, it should be 6 because the last page is 7. I do need to move this text box. This is where I really want to edit the frame attributes because this is a this is going to be across all the pages. I want to make sure, yeah, 3 through whatever, it's showing the page number. So I actually need to drop this down a little bit more. I'm going to go for the number 2. Push it down. That didn't do anything. Let's go for 0.3. Okay, now I'm just going to go for 1. And why isn't that really changing anything? Well, it's changing something because 6 is out in the ether somewhere. There's 5. Where's 6? 5. Top right. Then no 6 in the top left. Let's go with 0. No adjustment. Top header. Yeah, 6 is still gone. Ah, there it is. I see the right page positioning has it. Ah, ha, ha. That's what was doing it. You got to pay attention to that. So that 1-8 could make it a 2 and then do the same thing here. 0.2. Yeah, that makes things work out a little better. The only thing I want to change then is let's go from the page edge, not the margin. Yikes. Okay, let's not do what I just said. Let's make this 0.1. I think I've moved it in the opposite direction from the one that I want. There we go. Now I can move the measure number over here. This, I can make the same sort of. I know what 0.1 looks like now. Let's just go with 0 and go with the. Yep, that's too low. Let's go with page edge. That works much better. Okay, and it changes all of the, wherever that shows up, it changes it for me. It's super nice. It just makes it really easy if you know these kinds of shortcuts. It helps save you the trouble of just going to every single page and measure and dragging every single thing around until it just works perfectly, and then later on you add a quarter note to a measure and it messes everything right back up. I've definitely experienced that. Bass doesn't need that much space. Piano doesn't even need that whole staff. Guitar doesn't need that much here. That's a that's a lot of line there. I'm gonna move. Oh, I'm on the staff tool still. I'm gonna move this over and spare the bass trombone player a little bit of frustration. First off, by just playing that note by themselves out in the ether, and secondly, by having enough air to play maybe that whole line in one breath. At that volume should be probably possible. And then sneak a breath in right here. Okay. I'm looking at these notes here on the rhythm cues and seeing that I could definitely stand to flip the stems here, which is just a simple matter of hitting the L key. And which means the drummer just needs a little bit more room now on the score, which is perfectly fine. Now, whatever's going on with the trumpets here is a little concerning. Um, this flute doesn't seem to need that much space. And to be clear, like, these changes are not affecting how the parts look to the individual players. It's literally only affecting how these pages look on the score. So actually what would be really helpful there is if those two smart shapes were above the notes on the stem side instead of on the note side. But I think I can make this work out. Yeah. Then a little more room here. I think that will work just fine. Oh, those are the horns. Oh my goodness. What was I thinking? And just to make sure I'm not showing in concert pitch. Okay. Whew. If I if I had been in concert pitch, all of this would have been for nothing. Because it would just completely destroy it all when I transposed it again. So a good thing is, with all these smart shapes, I can adjust the curve like that. Make these little adjustments that actually leave me a lot more room, just like that. Boom. Okay, next page. Oh, okay. Now next page. So it knows I'm on that page now. Alright, for the conductor or band leader, don't need that much space. That's fine. Okay, this page is looking pretty good. Nothing's really bumping together. There may be a few things that look like they are. Let's see, this trumpet one actually is bumping a little bit into the horn dynamics. Could stand to move that down a little bit. Let's see where I can save some space. Bass. Okay, did I do something wrong? Or, there we go. Between the piano hands, definitely got space there. guitar. Um, yeah, that definitely helped me out. Trombone has enough space, so trumpet 1. Now let's get you down there out of the horns. Dynamics. Boom. And you know what? Let's get the horns out of each other's business too. There we go. But they can be a little closer to the bari sax. Ah, there we go. Okay. Now, this page should be pretty easy. Half the band doesn't even have anything. Yep, everything's showing up. That page looks great. This page is mainly checking this last bar here, nothing. And this is all good. That decrescendo can be a little closer to its note. How about here? Everything looks good. These were running into each other, not anymore. Little bit of funniness here. I think lowering the curve on that smart shape will do a lot of the work for me. And it has. There we go. That looks really nice. All that's going in the correct direction. And the final page I've already checked and checked and checked. Cool. Next part is going through each instrument. Each individual player here. So, this is where I go in and can check all this kind of stuff, like, should this be a multi-measure rest? Why, yes, it should be. Boom. That's all just running up into each other. So what else, what could I do to make this easier? Well, I could space these measures out a little bit more. If I'm using 2 pages anyway, I might as well fill up those pages. There's no reason to make this difficult, like, to read. This part is not showing. The yellow one is. So that's perfectly fine. It won't be running into the... Yeah, but this is actually attached to the wrong thing. It should be over here, attached to this. And then this should really say to flute, but I think we get the point. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to do actually before I do this that will make things a lot easier. And I think I'm going to run out of time here because in a minute I'll need to get ready for a gig. But you can go through here and change all the names of these instruments. The full name, alto 1 flute name, and the abbreviated name. Like AS1 would be fine. Alto 1 would be fine. It doesn't need to be that much. Alto 2, flute 2. So you can see I've already changed the full names because, like, And it really just needs to say F horn. I'm gonna copy that to now the deal is so I can go in here as well to the not the score manager. There's another. It's the instrument list, I think. Let's see. Yeah. So you can, edit these part names like this, and then all of this other kind of stuff in here, like trumpet in B flat 1. Come, like, do I need that? Do I need it to be like that? Probably not. Um, so manage parts. You can go to that part and do it. Then you can go to I think preferences here and look at parts. No. It's in document options. It sure is not. Hmm. Either way, you get the point. I can rename these parts to make it work out a lot better. And then I can auto number them like this. Don't really need that to happen pretty much ever. But I don't know. So now let's go over here. It just says alto sax 1 on this. I really needed it to use the name that I put there. So how can I make it do that? I think this is where. So this is what I need to find. Is where's this stuff? And I think this is where. Man, it really is. It's in like the file info. Oh, well, I could go to the page format, but that's not going to have where it inserts the title. Manage the parts. That's not, I already went to that. Um, document options. Fonts, grace notes. Yeah, the text. Nope. No, that doesn't. That just it gets down into the details of it. So yeah, I really just cannot remember where that is, and I wish I could because it would make it a lot easier for me, and I would be able to show you. So I will figure that out for both of us, for me and you, and I'll try to recall that so I can show that to everyone here because that is a pretty it's a nice feature of Finale that I could go into the all the information in each of these labels and edit it from there. But doesn't help if I can't find it for you. Sorry. This just takes me to each individual like that. All right. Well, that is about the that's the amount of time that I have. Uh, really kind of disappointed that I wasn't able to find this. Oh, these are different palettes that are available. I don't really need that. Thank you. There's the advanced tools. Don't really need any of those right now. I guess the file palette is just like save, open, and all that kind of stuff. Don't really need that. I really barely even need any of this. I don't really need the rest palette actually because I just hit the shortcut, hit the R key, and it turns each any node into a rest and then back from a rest into a default note. Hmm. Well, this is also a nice thing to know. Like last modified. Like I started on this back in 2014. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Wow. Mm. Anyway, yeah, like I said, that's kind of it on time. So I'm gonna save this. Eventually, I'll need to print it out into PDFs and get it sent off. But for now, thanks so much for watching. If you watched, sorry I didn't keep track of the stream in case you had any comments. And you know what? I'll check on that really quickly. Let's see. Go to my page, see if anybody had any comments. Oh, switch the tenor part so I get it. Bro, how old is Oh, mine is the newest finale. John said play it, but I did after that. So yeah, I answered everybody's chats. So thanks everybody. I will see you next time. I'm gonna go ahead and call it so I can get ready for my gig.